Welcome to Alien World Aquatics. You are live. It is time. How are you, my love?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining me on our switched up timing for our Saturday stream. It is still Saturday, technically. I'm still streaming on Saturday, but I guess
Nobody
I'm
saw it
gonna.
coming.
What's that?
Nobody saw it coming.
Nobody saw it coming. It's true.
Friday night stream.
It's true. But um, couldn't do the stream at my normal time at 4 p.m. tomorrow. Got something I have to take care of. So wanted to make sure I got one in at least, and hopefully, I'm not stepping on anyone's toes right now. I checked the schedule on Fish Room Fever's thing, and I'm not sure if anyone else is going. So, just wanted to see what you guys were up to. We're gonna try to. Paige and I are gonna talk together. We're gonna kind of make a little checklist for the big fish deal. He needs some volume come up.
Yes, that's what she said. Thank you.
Hmm.
whoa,
I am trying.
whoa.
I am. The mic is literally. Look at this. The mic is right there, guys.
Uh,
You see what I'm saying? How does that sound? Any better?
definitely better.
I mean, I was right there the whole time. Um, so we're talking about the big fish deal, and hopefully that is fine. Yes. How about this? I'm gonna go like we're gonna do this.
Wow.
All right, guys. This is how we talk from now on. Closer, dog. Closer. I
Closer, dog, closer.
like it. This is the way we start the stream.
Just eat it.
Ah,
All right.
alrighty. So yeah, we're gonna make a little checklist for the big fish deal, and we already have most of the stuff that we need. But we wanted to see if you guys had any last minute suggestions because we only got about a week until we gotta make a good showing over there. So let's see what else. What's going on with you though, girl? What you doing? Oh,
Are you talking to
what?
me?
Yeah, girl. What you doing?
Sorry, I was turning you down because you were so loud all of a
Oh
sudden.
no! Now I'm loud.
I know you're not used to me turning you down and stuff.
Oh man. Woo.
But what did you ask?
I said, what you doing?
I'm like streaming and stuff right now
With who?
with someone really cool. He's out of this world.
Aw, snap, girl. Man. All right.
Sorry, guys.
Well,
Cheesy.
while you guys are trying to think and help us, as I know the Cool Fish Fam does, I want to see if you guys can think and help us figure out some good things to bring to the big fish deal. And we're going to kind of tell you what we're doing, what we're able to do, what we're not able to do. You know, we're not trying to spend a lot of money doing this. We don't really have a lot of money to spend on this, but we're going to make this happen
We
the best we can. And
spent some already.
what's up? What'd
I
you
said
say?
we spent some money.
Oh yeah, yeah. Definitely, money was spent. So, um, thanks so much to this
but,
lucky, lucky seahorse.
but well spent, I would say.
Some cool stuff to show you guys. But I guess before we do that, we should say hi, I guess, to everyone in the chat. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna, that's gonna be on you. So I'm gonna sip this coffee.
Why
You're
is this?
gonna,
Why is this suddenly my job?
I like it.
So you can drink your coffee always. You always make me work
Because you
when I'm
are
drinking your
witty
coffee.
and you're witty and you have fun remarks sometimes on things that I don't think of as fast. So
Whoa.
you need to
You said witty?
like witty remarks, like fast, funny remarks.
Oh, really? Sometimes I don't. I feel the opposite.
Oh wow,
Thank you, but I do see we have a lot of cool people in here.
it's true.
Starting with FNS Fish Room. Hello. Thanks for being the first one here. Oh wait. Yeah, I'm at the top, right?
I don't know.
Hold
You
on.
tell me. I'm not looking at your screen.
Um, I don't know if I'm at the top. Hopefully. Manini Scapes, how you doing? Griffin Fish Room, Fish Tropic, hello. Um, Alien World Aquatics, I don't know who you are, but
Whoa,
welcome.
whoa. It's a new
Chewy,
guy.
hi Chewy. Chewy, Chewy, Chewy. Anthony's Fishy Friends, hello. Big J, Nathan Fishboy, how you doing? GRB Aquatics, thanks for being here. Oh man, Dr. Black is in the house. Hi. Um, who else? Aquariums maintained by Andy. How you doing? Now I got a pop up. Sorry, I'm terrible at this. Miss and Fish Room. Hello. All right, cool. I think I got everyone. If I didn't, I'm really sorry.
Can you do that all over again, please?
Did you see the struggle?
What do you mean?
You want to put me through that again?
I don't know what you mean. It was fantastic. You did a great job.
I
I was
think you
doing
should
stuff
do
and things.
all the talking, and I'll just clap for you.
I don't think so.
I'll cheer you on. Oh, look, Sun Ginger's here. Aw, she says, "Good morning, sunshine."
Good morning, sunshines. Good morning.
Hello.
What is happening with the Zen Ginger?
Hmm?
Oh,
All right.
let's see what happens. I threw.
Oh no,
I threw
Aquarium's
something
maintained
at.
by Andy said, "Just got back. Start over, please."
Oh man. Yeah, please start over.
Hilarious.
Should do all the introductions again.
Hello, welcome. Aquarium's maintained by Andy. I started over.
Very nice.
All right.
I threw something out into the universe, and we'll see what happens here.
You did.
Yeah, we'll see. But I don't actually. I don't know. We'll
You
see.
invited somebody? Is that what you did?
Whoa!
And you didn't tell me?
It was just so fast.
That was so fast.
It was so fast. Who knew it would happen?
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm. So,
Hmm.
do you have your notepad ready, my love?
I have it ready.
Sweet. So, let's start off with the checklist of the things that we do have. So,
Mm.
we have
But we can't
business.
name all that we have.
Correct. Correct. I know. Winky wink. I
Wink, wink.
know that there's stuff that we do have
Shh, shh, shh.
that we can't say anything. Just because it's a little something, something. For a little something, something. You know?
Little something, something.
A little something, something. So Mrs. Griffin just joined, I believe. What's going on? So we did acquire these sweet, awesome Alien World Aquatics business cards.
Yay!
Number one, with the QR codes on the back, which are awesome because you just scan them and they go straight to my our YouTube channel here, and they work really well. Isn't that cool little fish in the eye?
Did you show both sides? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know if it's. I don't know. It's hard to focus on this camera with the little words.
It is
It's much
hard.
easier to see in person. But they have a good feel to them. They're nice. And I don't know.
Hey, baby.
What's up?
Dr. Black says you may need to tape that mic to your chin.
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna go switch to my other headset and see if that one works.
But you were just raving about that one earlier, remember? And how good it was.
This one is the other one's just not as comfortable, but that's okay. Let me get it.
Oh.
Hold on. You gotta keep the crowd going right now while I'm gone for
I'll
a
reread
couple hours.
I'll reread all the names in the chat.
All right, hold on. I'll be right back, guys.
Please come back. Hurry. Hurry. So how's it going? All right. I hope everyone's having a nice Friday so far. So nice for those that don't have to wake up early for work tomorrow. I apologize if any of you do have to do that.
Oh, looky.
See, look at what happens. I'm talking about work.
Can you hear me?
Whoa.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes. Hi.
You can hear me now?
For sure, yes.
And look what just happened.
Oh,
Whoa! The doctor has joined.
Hi, how's it going?
Hi, Dr. Black.
What's
How
going
are
on?
you, Paige? Scotty?
Hi.
Doing well. We are preparing for the big fish deal, trying to make our checklist of all the things that we're bringing. And
Don't worry. I had a list made before I went to Melbourne, and I still forgot 3 things.
I know that's what I was worried about. But I guess I'm not far. If we have to go back, we're only 30 minutes away. But we want to make sure we bring everything.
There's a reason why Santa makes a list and checks it twice.
I know.
I would make the list and then lose the list or forget to bring the list.
Yeah. You need to make 2 backup lists as well.
I know.
Right.
So what's going on in the world of Blackie?
Well, only just 15 minutes before your live stream started, I just won a prize on Blake's Aquatics channel.
What'd you win? Congrats.
Oh, nice.
Nice
What did
little
you win?
aquarium package that his sponsor put together for the Fish Expo. Had a heater and an air pump and a LED air, what do you call them? Air stone thing.
Mm-hmm.
Air
Ooh.
curtain, I think was the word they used on the packaging.
Or bubble wall.
Some,
Yeah.
A bubble wall, that's it,
Mhm.
yeah.
Nice.
What else was there? Some Plasticus artificialis plantage, which is always, nice.
The scientific term.
A scientific term, yeah. I may be forgetting. Oh, that's right. There was like a I remember him showing it the other night. There was like this little Ziploc bag kind of thing, just full of little air hose line attachments and Y joins and gang valves and all that sort of stuff. Suction cups. You can never have too many of them.
Mhm.
So yeah, I was super stoked to win that because I need, like a bare minimum, I need one new heater and one new air pump. So couldn't have been timelier.
That's always good.
Nice. I love
So,
that.
Cheers to Blake. Good job.
Cheers.
I
cheers.
actually wasn't going to enter the competition because I thought, it's like employees can't enter, competitions run by their company, and it felt.
Nah, the moderators have to be able to enter the competitions too of any contest. That's only fair.
Yeah, true. I just felt that if it was a competition that was for the expo down in Melbourne, and Blake and I were part of the same tribe at the expo, it just didn't feel right. But he encouraged me on Thursday night our time on his live stream to actually enter the competition. So I did there and then on the live stream, and I'm very stoked that he encouraged me to enter.
Very nice.
Awesome.
That is awesome. So, what were some of the things that you brought to the show? But I want to know, what were the 3 things you forgot? What were the things you forgot that you wanted to have?
Flask.
Okay.
I'm gonna write
some
that in the
booze.
notes. Spring flask.
Um,
Don't forget.
The second thing was I have a Thirsty Rabbit t-shirt that I'd promised to give to Aquamate because it's a little bit clingy around my moobs nowadays that I've put a few extra kilos back on.
Okay.
What was the third thing though? I can't remember what I forgot. There was a third thing though. It'll come back.
Forgot
soon.
what you forgot.
Yeah. Couldn't have been that important then.
Yeah, it couldn't have been that important.
It's like the most important thing.
But like the shirt would have been handy because our booth at the expo, we had our backdrop, and we had a few of our shirts hanging over the backdrop behind us. So it would have been neat to have a little bit of Thirsty Rabbit's merch hanging behind us as well. Because let's face it, without Thirsty Rabbit, I wouldn't have started a YouTube channel.
Oh man.
Yeah, it
Did
was
he
him who.
encourage you to?
He was just because I used to make comments on his videos, and he just one day, encouraged me to put some up so he could have a look at the fish I was keeping and stuff. So that's where it all started. So
That's funny. That's where I first saw you. As I saw you doing an intro for a Thirsty Rabbit video that I just randomly clicked on, and it was like this. It was like. It was like you, like it was something, and I was like, "What is this channel?" And I was like, "Wait, that's not even his channel." I was like, "But both these dudes are cool." So,
I remember when you showed me that, babe.
and I was like, "What the heck?" I was like,
funny.
I was like, everyone's gonna want to watch this dude, like for real.
Yeah.
But I did want to ask you something because we're going to the place. We did not have enough money to make a giant T-shirt order. We did order a couple samples to like show off. And then I guess we'll have a link to our Teespring. Is that kind of what you did, or what did you do about that?
Well, all I did was I just got some iron-on transfer paper, and I made 2 cheap bodgy homemade shirts up. And then my plan initially was to then go and create those designs on Teespring and Redbubble, so they're actually available to people. But I've been home now for what 5 days, 4.5 days, somewhere around there. I've edited one video out of 5 that I should have had most of the work done on by now, and I think I've done maybe 2 jobs in my fish tank since I've been back. I've just been suffering from a complete lack of motivation since I've come back from Melbourne.
I mean,
So
do you think
Traveling
you're
takes it out of you.
tired?
it was my plan today to actually get a whole bunch of stuff done, and today was when I did the one video this morning. But by the time I finished editing, I was just like fried and couldn't be bothered doing any more. So yeah, that was my plan, was to because I only took 2 shirts with me, and I left one of them with Aquamate. He did promise me he's going to wear it. Time will tell. And I left him the one with the QR code on the back of it, so people can walk up to him in the street and scan his back with their phones.
Yes.
There's billions more people down in Melbourne and in his neighbourhood than up here. So yeah, hopefully that might work a bit better, giving him that one. What else did I take? I just had business cards.
We got that.
Big stack of them, because I also didn't have the funding to get some stickers made up.
Yeah, we looked on that too.
I am contemplating, with Sarah's artistic skill and stuff, contemplating changing my logo, because my sliced up eyeball logo doesn't necessarily say anything fish or snake related. So I didn't want to go and invest in 200 or 300 stickers that might become collector's editions straight away.
Put a snakehead on there. That solved both problems. You seen those fish? The snakehead fish?
Highly illegal down here, like they are in most of the other planet.
Oh yeah, they're invasive in the Potomac River near where I live.
Yeah. So aggressive. Nothing stands a chance against them.
No, not at all.
But very pretty as well. So it's unfortunate because
I had no idea till recently that there were some really pretty snakeheads out there.
There sure is.
Really? Pretty?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're absolutely beautiful. Some of them. I thought they were all just
There's some
those
small ones
dark
too.
green beige, but
Like, are you talking like pretty colors?
yeah,
or?
there's some pretty color ones.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Definitely worth looking into. But yeah, it's. I mean, the idea of looking into them is fraught with risk, because then you go, oh, I want one, and then you find out how illegal they are in most places. So you're looking for trouble if you keep them anyway.
Yeah, can't film that evidence there.
Indeed.
I had no idea.
way.
So yeah, pretty much it was just my shirts. I was wearing one as well, which was handy because I was walking around acting the fool. So I did see lots of people looking at my shirt, but I didn't necessarily get many more subscribers. Had like a A4 piece of paper on the table as well, which was basically the same design off one of my shirts, which Blake actually printed out, not me. And yeah, the other boys had most of the other stuff. Like we had stickers from Rumble and Blake, and cards from Sir Prawn a lot and some other places, and the competition flyers for the competition that Aquamate, Rumble, and Blake were running. And yeah, that's about it, really.
Yeah, it sounds similar.
We didn't really overdo it. I guess the probably the best thing we did was we had like little paper bags. I think we had 50 bags in the end, and we just sort of put one of each business card, sticker, flyers, all that sort of thing into one bag. So we could just basically force them on people as they walked past instead of expecting people to pick them up.
Sure.
So yeah, that was really good. Met lots of cool people. So that's potentially not only the getting your own name out there. That's not only the best thing about it, but just socializing and getting to know people in the community, especially at something like that, like you say, is only half an hour from your joint. You might meet some other people that are 2 doors down or in the same suburb or whatever as you that you didn't know were there, and it's like these big conventions where people of a like mind come together that you never know who you're going to meet or where they're from, or the relationships that you might foster.
For sure. It's true. It's very true. Yeah, we're very
Yeah, that's
honored to be
one of the
invited
one of
there.
the best things I found. Yeah, one of the best things I got out of it was just yeah, like I say, just meeting all these new dudes and some of these people that I've known online for a little while but have never actually met them. And yeah, all these other new people.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people that are from the Fish fam that are going to be going there, which is pretty cool. Let me see if I can bring that up.
The list got bigger, right?
Oh, did it? More
I think.
YouTubers going and stuff,
I think
or just
slightly, yeah.
So right
Yeah.
now the website says Alien World Aquatics, Big City Betas, Fish Room Fever, Fish Tank Barn, Jess Shrimp Granny, JH Aquatics, KG Tropicals, King and Queen Cichlids, Michael's Fish Room, Oddball Aquatics, Peck Tech, Q Aquatics, and Rachel O'Leary.
Good to know that King and Queen Cichlids and KG Tropicals will be in the same place, because I'd like to know from Scott, King and Queen Scott, because I sent him after our first fundraising auction, I sent him a little something out of Scungy's collection, and I also included with his something for KG, which he said he would pass on, but I haven't heard from either of those two gentlemen whether they actually received their goodies. So I must try and get onto Scott prior to that to make sure that he brings that for KG if he hasn't already given it to him, because they're pretty close to each other, aren't they, on the map?
I'm not sure. I know. I think Pennsylvania, right?
Oh, I wouldn't have a clue.
I'm not. I think Pennsylvania. I'm not 100%. I have not looked at any of the chat, by the way, people. Just so you guys know, I've been totally zoning out.
Little bit of a scroll through myself. Hello, Chris, Multi-Tank Addiction. How are you? Who else did I see? Captain Savage. How are you, mate? I don't think I've seen you for a long time. And Fish Room Fever. Oh, thanks, James. Thank you so much.
Look at that beauty on the screen.
I thought I was being funny, but he already beat me to the joke.
Oh my goodness.
Don't stop him, Chris.
Pennsylvania and Virginia, I guess, for KG Tropicals and the King and Queen.
Oh.
What's up, man? How you doing? Oh, so
Dr. Black.
Go
Oh,
for it.
sorry.
no, go for it.
I was just curious if you had anything in the works for your new logo. Like, do you have any ideas or?
I don't. I would like to, but because I really want to rely on Sarah's artistic flair to create it, and the way that her brain works with creating stuff is to not necessarily go from an idea, if that makes any sense, to basically just empty her mind of thought and go for it.
Nice.
So I thought if I didn't try and fill her mind with too many ideas beforehand, I might get something a little bit more natural and in the general flow, I guess, of her style. Whereas if I put an idea in there, I might I might end up with something that she's not happy with necessarily.
Right,
So
yeah, I get that.
I'd rather have her happy with her work if it was going to be promoted around the world in sticker form and YouTube channel form, I guess.
Aw. You guys make a good team.
You guys do. Did she like going to the event or?
Well, like me on the morning of the expo, the first Saturday morning, we were both considerably hungover.
But you forgot your flask. You didn't need it.
Well, I probably would have needed it at the expo, but on the Friday night when we got picked up by Aquamate at the airport, and then we went back after we went to the expo site for a little bit of a tour and see what we needed to do. Then we went back to his house and started having a few drinks before we went out to the pub for dinner and whatnot. And then that night went on well past midnight, and I think by the time it was, Aquamate went into the expo and dropped myself and Sarah at our hotel on the way to the expo, and sort of we went to the hotel to get changed and prep for the expo. And by the time I was leaving the hotel, it was pretty much time for our live stream to start. So Sarah decided that she would just stay at the hotel because she wouldn't be very excited wandering around the expo for 2 hours while we live streamed. And I think it might have been about 3:30 or 4 o'clock before she showed up at the expo. And that was only because I wanted to go and check out the reptile expo that was happening at the same time, and so did she. And I'd only just found out around lunchtime that the reptile expo only went for the 1 day. So I sort of had to get onto her and say, if you want to go to this reptile expo, potentially come now.
Oh, wow.
And so, she was, it was hot too that Saturday in Melbourne. It was the only hot day in Melbourne, and she had to walk in the heat as well. But we survived. But I mean, essentially she had a nice time once she was there as well. We did a wander around and checked out all the stuff, and she liked a lot of the stuff that she saw, and she definitely liked a lot of the reptile stuff as well. So it was good times.
Do you keep any reptiles right now?
I do have a nearly 7 foot long carpet snake, but it doesn't live with me. It lives with my middle son Joshua at his house, which is only like 300 meters down the road. And cool. he keeps a bunch of blue tongue lizards as well. He's got a massive enclosure with 6 really big ones in it, and a few grow outs from they were born just this summer gone past, late spring. They live birth from blue tongues. So he's got a bunch of them as well.
Those are cool. Would you ever want me to get lizards?
Lizards a choice. What you want, look up mangrove monitor. I'm pretty sure you can get them in the States. They're like a small goanna, but you can set up wicked paludariums for them, and they are so gorgeous, it's ridiculous. I don't know if you'll be able to see this guy.
Is that your son?
That's my son, and he's feeding one of his babies straight out of the dog food tin.
Nice. Is that the mangrove monitor?
Well, it looks like a few photos of Komodo dragons, but I'm trying to identify which one. Yeah, actually, the bigger photo on the top right looks like one. But when they're small babies, like 15 to 18 inches long, they've really black body and really much bigger speckling and stuff. But they're a quite a sensible one to have because they don't get as big as a lot of the other goanna species from Australia. I think they max out around 3 foot to a meter sort of thing. So in talking about expos and stuff, what else have you guys got planned for the expo? Oh, did I accidentally mute?
Yeah, okay. Maybe you're on mute.
How about now?
That's the guy.
That's the ticket. It hit my leg. So what we're doing is we got our business cards. We've got our long sleeve shirts, which we're going to be both wearing, that have the QR code on the back and some really cool designs that I showed off on one of the other streams. And we have couple little secrets for some people that are showing up there. A couple secrets. And yeah, we're gonna have a bunch of the different Teespring items. We got, what do we get? Coffee cups we're bringing. A couple different T-shirts, women's
Tank
top, uh, and just some basic stuff. We're not going too crazy to guess, just because we don't really know what to expect, and we did not have the money to make a whole inventory purchase of like 100 T-shirts. We just could not make that happen. Plus, we didn't want to be left over if it didn't go well or something, and people didn't buy them. But
Yeah, it wasn't just the money. We thought it may be smarter, since it was our first time going,
yeah,
to kind of use this to gauge for the future how many shirts we may need to bring. But
You
we
could also-
figure if we have some samples there of what we have on the Teespring site, they can, order more on there. And
and
maybe we will offer a discount that day.
yeah, anyone there is going to get a discount on there. But what I'm also going to do is, to make it really easy, is I'm going to get a little sign, and I'm going to print out my QR code. So if people want a certain item, they can walk up to the little sign next to the
yeah.
T-shirts or the coffee cups, scan the little QR code. It'll take you right to my Teespring site, so no one has to type in teespring.com/alien, all that stuff. I just think it'll be a lot faster and easier for people
Yeah, that's a
to do
great
that.
idea.
Because, I mean, if you can't have all your stuff actually in front of them, at least you can make it super easy for them to get to.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's it's probably more tempting than that if you've taken 3 or 4 of the steps out for them. What's to say that they won't order then and there on the spot?
Exactly. If I
Right.
make it easy, I just feel like the more people have to type nowadays, like I mean, even us, we all have short attention spans. And sometimes if people are like, oh, I can do this in 2 clicks, I'll do it. But if it's 5 clicks, you might not make that sale.
I suppose there's did you get your own shirts and stuff through Teespring itself, or did you use another printing service?
The really nice long sleeve shirts that we printed, that Paige and I are going to be wearing, are from, where are they from? I cannot remember. They're not from Teespring.
Vistaprint?
And they were a little more expensive. Was Zazzle? Was that Zazzle? That was the
So-
business
I
cards.
think that was for cards or
I
something else.
can't even remember the T-shirt. I'd have to look it
suppose
back up. Or the
another,
long sleeve.
Another potential option is to get orders from people, I guess. If they like the particular one that you guys are wearing that's not necessarily on your Teespring,
Yeah,
then maybe chuck a list together, take a deposit or something somehow.
yeah. It was just expensive for us to get the 2 shirts because we're only ordering 2.
Yeah.
So I mean, they were not cheap, but they are so cool looking. I love how they turned out. So
yeah, they did look very good.
they
Can't
are
wait.
going to be awesome.
When are they
Mm.
supposed to show up again? Monday?
Um,
9th, I think.
let me check my email right now and see.
You got the cards yesterday.
Yeah, we got our business cards.
Yeah, those cards look awesome.
Yeah, we're happy with them. They feel nice and glossy too.
Yeah,
They do.
it's funny how much difference a tactile experience can make with a business card for people, that it's not just a visual thing, that because you do
Absolutely.
have to hold it in your thumb and forefinger. Any little embossing or texture just makes such a difference.
That's true. That's funny.
Estimated delivery March 9th.
Yep, Monday.
Only a couple of days
Yep.
away.
There we go.
Woohoo! Hopefully they fit.
Indeed.
Maybe just so you know, I think Multi-Tank Addiction asked, what would you say is the largest species fish you keep?
The largest one that I probably have is probably gonna be that pink-tailed Coucheus. I never remember how to say that word. The pink-tailed one. He's gonna get really big. I'm gonna have to find him a new home when he gets a little bit bigger. I did adopt a pleco that is over a foot long, but it's not my fault because the person said that it was 6 inches when they were bringing it, and they brought it in a bucket that's 12 inches in diameter, and it was longer than the 12 inches. So I don't understand how some people do their maths. I think they need to hear the song "Maths" by Dr. Black.
Yeah.
Humans usually do their measurements the opposite way around, don't they? People used to calling 3 or 4 inches 7 or 8 inches.
I know. So I do have that, and I'm hopefully gonna get that into a much bigger tank. But I just adopted. I adopt some fish that people can't handle for a little while, and I'll find them a better home. That's the biggest fish I have, probably, is the pleco. But he's not permanently here. He's just hanging out for the moment. But I like him. He's a good one. But the pink-tailed chalceus is really big. The blood pears get pretty big. I mean, that's not like monster fish, though.
Have you seen a black dragon cactus pleco?
I have not.
I have found my bucket list fish forever.
Black dragon
cactus pleco.
Cactus
I'm fairly certain they will not be available in Australia, so I'm going to either have to find an illegal supplier or get one of my YouTube friends to get one, and then, you know, vicariously live the black dragon cactus pleco through someone else.
Jeez.
It's a gorgeous looking fish.
Sounds cool.
That guy right there?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's crazy.
Does it have green on its tails? No.
I think it's all black.
Wow.
Yeah, the picture I've got is just this mad glossy black, which just a
Black shadow.
looking head. No, I don't even know how big they get. It looks, the specimen I've got a picture of is maybe 8 to 10 inches long, but just looks so awesome.
Good question by Multi-Tank. Paige, what would you say is your favorite fish?
I would say maybe between like pufferfish and parrotfish, I think, are my favorite.
Now, I don't really have any. Well, I guess I do have 2 dwarf little pea puffers.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking about getting Amazon puffers soon.
It's true.
I think they're adorable. I like their fins. And yeah, parrotfish. I love the parrotfish.
Yeah, they're so good.
But I mean, you know, those are freshwater fish.
Oh, man. Oh, I can see this parrotfish right here.
Chubster.
Chubster. He's the best. He's so fun.
I think a big part of that reason of why those are my favorite is because of their personality. They usually have more of a personality, it seems like, than some of the other fish.
Look at this guy. Hey.
Pumpkin.
Look at his. Look at hey. He's so excited.
He's always ready to play.
He's like, I will kill your hand.
But does he attack if you put your hand in there, and does he not hurt that much?
Oh yeah, he comes after me.
But he shouldn't hurt that much, does he?
Oh, he doesn't do anything. It's funny. It's
just
hilarious.
like
He doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
He's a good one though, but he's always right next to my computer here. He's always like looking straight at me, like right now. He just like looks at me the whole time I'm doing stuff.
When I'm sitting on your couch back there, Pumpkin stares at me sometimes.
Yeah.
There's you.
Like, what is that girl doing? She's so weird.
You want a figure 8 puffer for your mud skipper tank. Interesting. Would they not try to bite the mud skippers? But yes, what do you so you really think if you're going to the rare fish auction, you want to find a rare puffer, or you just want to get Amazon puffers?
No, I'm interested in seeing any puffer.
Because you got to make a choice. We were trying to do our research and stuff, and if you want a group of puffers, you pretty much have to get the Amazon puffers.
Yeah.
And if you want some of the bigger ones that look cooler, you can get one.
Yeah, it depends on how cool it is, I guess. I'll make my decision.
What's the coolest puffer you saw down there at your show, Doctor?
Was probably I'm just trying to. I did get some footage of some neat little puffers, and just trying to find this tiny little yellow one that I found. Crikey, I have so much video to edit. It's so daunting.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, there's this tank and it had a couple of these tiny little yellow dudes in it. If my video player will open, I'll share my screen and show this little guy. And then there was a bunch of porcupine puffers in the Melbourne Aquarium. We went to the Melbourne Aquarium on Sunday. And I was also, hang on, I'll mute that sound.
I had a porcupine puffer back in the day. It was cute.
Yeah, and they had must have been about 7 or 8 in this one massive aquarium, and some of them were like 14, 15 inches long. I didn't even know they got that big.
Whoa.
They were huge, very huge.
Oh gosh, I think I keep hitting that.
I just do that, share my screen, and if you pop me up on the that's on that.
Gotcha.
Aww.
That is adorable. It's a cowfish. I used to have one, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. It's not even a puffer, is it? That's a cowfish.
It's a cowfish. They're adorable. I have one of those too.
Cute. I want that too.
Oh, they're adorable.
Oh, it's tiny.
Or is that a cowfish or a box? I think it's a cowfish.
I think you're right, actually. For some reason, I had myself convinced it was a puffer, but yeah,
that's cute.
As big as my thumbnail. That's why that was my thumb that came up at the end as a size.
Yeah, he's tiny.
They're adorable. They're adorable. So, Multi-Tank Addiction asked Paige, so parrot, which kind of morph or the true parrot? So, what we have are blood parrots, and I think, what Paige really wants is what I saw at the local fish store, which is the crystal parrot, which was some kind of morph. I'm not sure. But the local fish store was selling it for $289. And it was beautiful, red with like these white speckles, and did look like crystal. It was absolutely gorgeous, but I can't spend $300 on a fish.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, those are so cool.
Yeah, I think I would definitely like to get one of those if they have one at the auction. If it's not, $180 or $280.
Yeah, right. Trying to see any of these chats here. Nathan Fishboy, what's up? Looks like a cowfish. Yeah, I think cowfish.
Yeah, I think
that was adorable. I like
right.
I like the cowfish.
Now that I'm watching it back on a larger screen than my camera screen, and it was so tiny in person, it was so hard to see.
Oh, look at that. Look at Multi-Tank. Sounds awesome. She deserves it, so I can see it in your tanks.
Yeah,
wow. Right? There's going to have to be some very generous PayPal activity for me to go pick out $100 or $300 parrotfish. There's going to have to be some very generous PayPal activity to make that a reality.
Thank you for your support, Multi-Tank. Thank you.
I don't know. That's an expensive fish. I mean, honestly, what is the most expensive freshwater fish you've ever bought?
That I've ever bought?
Mm-hmm.
Probably Gibbiceps, 50 or $60 for a couple of inches of fish.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been real tight when it comes to buying fish. I think the expensive fish can often be enjoyed more left in the aquarium shop than burning holes in wallets and stuff.
Yeah. I have a hard time sometimes spending anything more than, let's say, when I'm looking at like more than $40 a fish, I start being like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Doing this.
It's nice to be confident in your ability to keep stuff alive, but if you go and spend, $50 or $60 on a fish and then it's dead within a week, it's just so heartbreaking.
Yeah, and then that's how you get out of the hobby, when you have one of those really bad losses, and then you're like, I give up.
Yeah, I'm going back to just guppies.
Yeah, they were looking at gold nuggets. I was looking at gold nuggets at the local fish store, but they were just a little bit a little bit pricey. I did get a cool pleco though. I got a little baby royal pleco about 2 inches long, and I love royal plecos. It's got nice red eyes, and he'll grow out nicely in a 70-gallon tank.
I love the shapes that they get when they get big. They're just 'cause
Yeah.
they don't get too long, but they're just their body just gets so massive.
Yeah, they
That's
look like
why
a
I like
little.
them too.
They look like a little like bodybuilder.
Shark
That's like
or something.
5'3", you know?
Yeah, almost cartoonish.
Yeah.
And Fishy Fun 57 is in the same boat as me. I've got so much video footage from the Melbourne Aquarium that they weren't super bright lit tanks and stuff. They're made to be viewed by the human eye and not by a camera. And I mistakenly didn't thoroughly study the instruction manual for my camera before I left. But potentially, Fishy Fun, you need to fiddle around with exposure settings and bump your exposure way up. That's generally the best thing that you can do to get low light stuff appearing on video.
Yeah, I'm not the person to do that. But Multi-Tank Addiction says his would be a arowana that was 280. See, that's less than a crystal blood parrot. I feel like that was too much. $289, too much.
That's a pretty
But it's so pretty. And I want to know, Zen, where are you getting $20 discus? They're not even that cheap at the big box stores where I look.
Local breeder, maybe something like that.
That's true. I guess
Maybe
local
someone
breeder
in the
is
fish
super
fam.
small. That's true. I'll be interested to see what stores are selling $20 discus.
Mm-hmm. At least you could fill a tank with them at that price. Well, half a dozen of them.
Ah, I'm so jelly. FNS Fish Room, $300 for a stingray. I wish I could have a stingray so bad. You ever gonna get a stingray, Doctor?
Probably not. Unless Rumble from Western Australia wants to ship me over a free one. I just don't have the tank space to justify a stingray. If I was going to do that, I'd really want a massive space to put it in. I hate putting things that need big space in small spaces. Oh, don't look behind me. I mean, I may be contradicting myself there, but we've all got certain limits.
You try your best.
Sorry, multi-take. That's never fun.
Aww.
Nathan, I did buy a baby bristlenose catfish for $50 for 12 fish though. 12 baby bristles for $50. All right.
Doesn't seem too bad.
Let's see what else.
I'll be
Fishy
back.
Fun. Go for it. We are located in Maryland. He tops out about $40 per fish. Yeah, about me too. Of course, $10 per shrimp is pricey. That is pricey. Yeah, that is basically what they cost when you get to the nice ones, though. The nicer ones. I love Royal Pleco too. Is there any after editing techniques? I'm not the person to ask, my friend. I'm still trying to figure that out, man. Trying to figure out how it goes. I try to just do it in one shot and make it work, and I got a lot of work to do. I'm not sure. I don't know. What would be the most you would want to pay for a fish, my love? Like if you were buying a fish for your tank and I'm not at the store with you, what would be the most you would want to spend on a fish? On a single fish.
Depends on what it is.
On a single fish.
I think it depends on what it is.
If it's freshwater, and
I'd be a little hesitant to spend a lot on the first fish that I've kept in a while,
Okay.
Although I know you'll help me keep it alive. But I don't know. I would say probably no more than 40 something, I think.
I don't know.
It depends on how cool it is.
Yeah.
But probably not much past $40, $50, especially.
I know you really wanted me to get those pair of electric blue Jack Dempseys. I haven't forgotten those.
Those are pretty.
I saw more last time I went. They had more of them. I don't know. I don't know if I have the tank for that. We'll see. Maybe one day I'll get some electric blue Jack Dempseys. They did look beautiful.
Yeah. And you've done a great job keeping Jackie.
Yeah, she's done really well.
Experience taking care of those.
Welcome back.
Hi.
That
I like that high.
was a good one. Very nice.
That was great.
It's funny because, like, when you start getting into saltwater, I had a saltwater tank many years ago, and when you start talking about, like, prices of fish, when you start talking about saltwater and you drop $40, you're like, oh, $40, that's a deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're all of a sudden your mind changes. It's
That's
so
what I was saying.
crazy
It
how that
depends.
happens. It's absolutely nuts. Like, you'll see like a flame angel, and it'll be $40, and you'll be like, what? I'm taking that flame angel for $40. You're like, that's easy, done.
Hello, Dead Fred and Susan. How are we?
What is up, people?
Hello.
Burning that midnight oil, indeed.
What is it
What's
there?
going on, Susan?
midnight.
Hello.
It is 1:21 a.m. over here.
Actually, 122.
Yeah, that's a good question right here. What's the most someone would spend on a beta? She spent 40 on a koi beta. Interesting.
I saw some $90 ones, Australian money, not too long ago that I was very tempted by because they were very pretty. But I had not owned a betta up to that stage, so yeah, I just got a $15 one instead. And he's dead now, so thankfully
Aw.
I didn't
Aw.
spend $90.
Never know.
But yeah,
Maybe.
maybe $90 gets you some better jeans that, no pun intended, or was it?
Like it.
Potentially
Maybe how much?
they,
Oh,
they
sorry.
may survive longer if they are more expensive.
Maybe so.
G'day, Aquamate and Donald Fish Vibes. How are you, Donald and Joshua?
What were you going to say, babe?
I was just going to ask you, how much would you spend on an alien beta? Because I know you've been very interested in getting one of those since you're an alien.
That's a good question. I'd have to see it in person, but yeah, I think around $40 would probably be the most I would ever go. Because I think they're cool and they're beautiful, but it's almost gimmicky that I'm like, I'm an alien. I have an alien beta, and then it's like over, like everyone forgets in like 5 minutes, and then I spent all this money on a beta that no one's gonna watch really. But I don't know. I'd have to have a really good tank to display it and make good videos of it to get really good photography of it or something. But I would like one. Don't get me wrong. I think they're very cool. They're beautiful. The ones I've seen are ridiculous, but I don't know. The other thing that I'm thinking of doing is I don't know if I'm even allowed to do this at the expo, but trying to sell some of the vintage aquarium stuff that I have.
Ooh.
Because I'm not sure if you saw the video of that aquarium pump that I have that's really old, and the meta frame tank with all the lights and everything that's super old that Paige found for me, and got all that stuff, and the bamboo fish tank too. I was thinking about possibly selling the bamboo fish tank, but I don't even know if that's something I could even do at one of these expos, or if someone would want to, buy that stuff. I don't even know what the price on those things.
Well, like anything, I guess, to the right person, the price could be quite high.
Yeah.
I mean, that bamboo tank and that metal frame tank and that pump, that pump could be worth heaps to just a collector of old fish oddities and stuff. And those metal frame tanks, they're I think it was about maybe a year or 2 years ago, they came so much back in vogue, and people were just looking for them all over the place and were paying big money just for that vintage look.
What I always heard is people just wanted slate bottom tanks because pleco breeders like them. I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but apparently that's what I heard. I can't remember. Someone told me that one of the fish stores I went to somewhere.
Yeah, right. Interesting.
Yeah,
But
maybe you said that.
I don't know how that would even help. I don't know what that makes a difference. I have no idea.
Is that what your metal frame one's got? The slate bottom in it?
I believe so.
Yeah, right.
But I'm not sure. Well, the chat's been moving.
Blackie, did you see anyone at your expo trying to sell tanks or anything like that?
Yeah, there was plenty of places selling tanks and whatnot. And like even Blake, he scored some really good deals because he just went to some of the booths and convinced them that they didn't want to ship their tanks back to where they came from, that it would be so much easier for them just to sell them to him for a nice price. So yeah, I mean, he scored, but there was one place that was selling like little nano tanks and stuff, and they seemed to be selling heaps because there was lots of people walking around with small tanks in their arms. Lots of plants and stuff as well. Not so many fish though. I don't think anyone was actually selling fish, but certainly lots of plants and tanks were up for the offer, and your general pumps and heaters and whatnot.
I want to get a whole bunch of subwasher tang. I like that stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind some of that too.
I got a little bit at the local fish store. They didn't have a bunch left, but I took the little golf ball sized amount they had for $5.
Yeah, right.
Blackie, is there anything
That's my lady.
Was there anything that you were hoping to see or find at the expo that they didn't have?
No, not really. I was kind of in the position that the less I saw was better, because I didn't want to have the old FOMO, the fear of missing out, because there was so much so much awesome stuff there as it was, that if there was too much for me to see, I'd just have too many ideas of all the things that I'm missing out on that I can't afford to buy.
Yeah, we know the feeling, right, babe?
And I suppose that is the worst thing about going to those places, is that you are seeing the all of the latest, greatest stuff, and it all looks so fantastic and it's presented well, but it's also got fantastic prices to match, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's up, GRB? GRB says, just take photos to display with your price will attract attention at Big Fish Deal.
That was what
I guess that's true. I guess if I am local, if I'm like, listen, I have these tanks and things I'm trying to sell, you can let me know, and sell them if you're in the area. But that's true. At least bring pictures of them. That's true. Good idea.
Well, that could
I was
at
gonna say
least
maybe ship it to someone later on, but it could get pricey because it's big and.
Well, if they live in this area,
package it.
if they live around the area and they can get to the Big Fish Deal, they can get to my house to get the tank.
Yeah, that's right. And just seeing a picture could be enough to spark the right person's interest.
Indeed.
And then once you've got them in your house looking at the stuff, then it'll be so much harder for them to leave without giving you their money.
Yeah, I can definitely bring the little tank, the little metal frame tank, and the old aquarium pump and stuff, that piston pump, but the bamboo tank might be a little tricky to fit in the car.
Too bad I don't have the Jeep anymore.
Yeah, no more Jeep. No more Jeep.
It's probably a wise thing to get rid of a Jeep. Aren't they supposed to be quite crappy, unless you spend heaps on them?
It was a piece of crap.
No idea. That
oh
was
my god.
Worst Jeep in the world. Total lemon from the start. It died on me after having it not even a year. Tire was falling off.
It wasn't new. Let's be honest. It wasn't a new car. It didn't last a year new.
No. I just mean it didn't last a year for me.
Yeah, no
problem
kidding.
After problem.
I know. You got a good car now, though.
Yes, indeed.
Man, so what else are we gonna bring?
Dr. Blackie.
All right, Dr. Black.
That would be nice.
Away. All right.
I will go.
Parachute in. Make an entrance.
That might get me a few extra subs.
That's true. I'll make a new account and sub to you if you parachute in anywhere. That'll be awesome. So you weren't in the Loch Ness Monster stream the other night, Dr. Black. I know you were busy doing some other stuff. What is your opinion on some of those cryptids, like the Loch Ness Monster and some of these other Okopogos things? And because it's you have knowledge on aquatic life. What would be your Thoughts?
Was that the one you did with Sharpie
Uh,
or not?
was that the one?
Mm-mm.
No, that wasn't the one. No,
I think it was the one after that
I
one.
think it was the one after. Yeah. I don't think you
Um,
streamed that night. I think you streamed later.
Yeah, right. That's
Oh,
right. I got home about 7 minutes after you guys shut down, I think.
Yeah, we did a whole little list of different cryptids that we talked about, like the Mongolian deathworm and the Loch Ness monster, and or some other ones that we couldn't even, the Ahul and things I've never even heard of.
Wow, yeah, I've not heard of most of those.
It was very interesting.
What is this?
Cryptozoology.
What is this Loch Ness monster you speak of?
yeah.
Mongolian
Probably some
deathworm,
trolls or
did you
something.
say?
Yeah. So apparently there's supposed to be these worms that are 4 feet long that can travel subterranean, under the ground, and they're seen in parts of the Gobi Desert in Mongolia. And at first when I first saw it, I was like instantly had the bullshit meter go off, and
Mhm.
I was like, I don't know. But then I started thinking about what Paige and I were watching with the bobbit worms. You've heard of those, right?
Ew.
Hobbit worms?
The bobbit worms.
No,
You've never heard of a bobbit worm?
I don't
Oh
think
Can
my
you
so.
bring that up,
gosh.
maybe? I feel like
Oh
that's
my
pretty
gosh, a
cool.
bobbit worm is freaky. Um, a bobbit worm is a saltwater worm, and it's absolutely terrifying
That's gross.
and gross. Let's see if I can get a bigger picture.
They're not
Here we
these ones
go.
with the round mouth with all the teeth in it, are they?
Yeah.
Ah,
These things.
Remember we saw that and then we started watching Tremors and we had the
we
Tremor
watched
marathon?
we did a Tremors marathon after this.
well,
But
that's
these things
the first thing I
are.
thought of when you said the Mongolian deathworm was I went straight to Tremors.
I know, me too. That's why I went to BS first, because I was like, I don't know. So what I thought of was these, and then I said, well, let's think about this logically. I was like, animals do evolve, and if a bobbit worm is so similar to this, Mongolian death worm, maybe I was just, trying to theorize, what if the Gobi Desert used to be a sea or a part of the
Mm.
ocean, and then
Yeah.
Chewie said that it actually was a
It
sea.
was. Yeah.
So maybe over long periods of time, when that changed from a sea into a desert, maybe some of these worms were able to evolve in a way to survive underground instead of in the water.
A little bit of divergent evolution instead of convergent evolution.
I guess so. I mean, I just thought it was like, it's not proof. I just think it's like, maybe there is something there.
Can you show that third picture from me on that bottom row a little bit bigger? That looks like a really good one of the face, is it?
That one?
Below that one.
Whoa.
Ew.
Oops. Yeah, that's crazy.
And the one below the first one you had on? No, down. Down. The one below that one.
This?
Now it's a second from the right, second row from the top.
This?
Yeah, that guy.
That's creepy.
How close can I get to that face?
Oh, nah.
That looks awesome. Can you keep them in a fish tank?
Yeah,
I hope-
people have found them in their saltwater tanks by accident.
Ah, right.
Like I know, the one I saw on YouTube was this person that was disassembling this huge saltwater tank with a whole bunch of live rock, and they pulled out portions of the live rock, and all of a sudden this like 5 foot long worm is there, and they're freaking out. Those things, if you look at those on YouTube, man, they just snatch fish and just pull them down under the ground. They're absolutely crazy. Nola Jane says you should show that to Sarah. Make a cool painting maybe, or a drawing maybe of that thing.
I feel like
Religious, but there's the devil's handiwork right there.
True.
That's a crazy looking thing, the bobbit worm.
Can you type that into the chat? Because I will definitely copy and paste that, and I definitely want to look at pictures of that.
The bobbit worm.
Yeah,
You want the link?
yeah, sure.
Yeah. There you go. Link for looking at bobbit worms. Whoa, what happened there? That's crazy. That didn't work. Maybe one of my linkers can find this better. My moderators can do this better than I can. Fail.
That's all right. Bobbit worm. Now,
Yep.
now, I wasn't quite
Like
getting
Lorena Bobbit.
your accent, but yeah, now that there's a incredibly familiar name, I can certainly remember that easily.
Lorena Bobbit. Oh, it's not a
John
good
Wayne.
story. Yep.
That was John Wayne, wasn't it?
Dead Fred, I did not get newts or inverts in there yet. Right now, my beta is actually hanging out in there for now, along with a few shrimpos, but I will be getting newts, I believe, in there, and then I'm going to set up a different tank for some poison dark frogs. I have a 20-gallon long that can be used for that.
One with the lid.
Yeah, one with a lid. Absolutely. The doctor going to investigate the worm.
Sure am.
Mrs. Griffin says she's going to get a whole bunch of them. Fish tank full of them.
I'm gonna get a whole bunch. She's
It's
brave.
It's like a really entertaining idea as to something that would be super unique in a saltwater tank.
Yeah, I mean, they are just freaky, though. They do give you those, like, willies when you see it. Like, it's going to just grab you like some kind of alien.
How appropriate.
So cool.
Yeah, these things are... Oh, there's one of those videos right there, yeah.
But there's is that me sharing my screen, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or move you so you can watch it. Go, watch it.
well, I want to see the this Mongolian deathworm or whatever you called it before. I want to see
Mongolian deathworm.
I want to see YouTube videos of that to prove that it exists.
Oh, I don't think there are any. That's why, I mean, I thought it was like I call BS. I've never seen anything like it. Never seen any, videos or anything.
And these are just the bobbit worms just exist at normal depths. Like they're not super deep sea or anything. They're just a substrate dweller.
I believe so. Yeah, they just yank anything down. They're especially at night. That's when they take things out. There's so many cool videos you can watch of them.
Yeah, I'm definitely saving that page.
Yeah,
I'll save that right before I go to bed so I can have nightmares and whatnot.
I mean, yeah, if they got bigger than that, I mean, that would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Chevy Fish says bobbit worms come in small inside live rock and take years to grow. They systematically wipe out everything in the tank. If you try and pull them out, they break and each part regenerates a new worm.
Ew,
Oh,
that's awful.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
That is a nightmare.
Nuke from orbit. Nuke from orbit.
No thanks.
Oh man.
That's like, if that's the case, then they should definitely be researching them, because if even a segment from down at the tail end can then regenerate cells that then create all of those different structures on a head, that's a very, very interesting creature for medical research.
That's true. I think Dead Fred brings up a good point. The Mongolian deathworm sounds a lot like chupacabra, very real, but with exaggerated urban legends behind it. I think a lot of things are exaggerated. It's, I just think that it's too similar to this bobbit worm, and it's too suspicious that there used to be a sea. The Gobi Desert used to be a sea, and that, you know what I mean? That's too suspicious to me. That there's sightings of large worms, and I don't know.
Potentially, people have found like fossilized remains or something of bobbit worms, ancient relatives or something like that.
Indeed.
I've not actually seen live ones, but as a story gets told and the Chinese whispers no racism occur, the stories change, don't they? Even one person's memories change the more they tell a story.
That's true. The human mind
That
can
is true.
totally recall things differently than they actually happen. That's true. That's true. Oh man! All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it about up here. And
And with you were mentioning the Loch Ness monster as well.
oh
They,
yes, I do want to know about that first.
Well, I've always assumed that if it existed, it would be like some form of plesiosaur, and one of those might have a reasonably long lifespan. But if it's going to have been around for that long, surely there needs to be more than one.
Mm-hmm. So one interesting thing that I did find about that. Let's see if I still have the picture. Oh, this is good. I'll read this to you. So they did a study in 2019 of the loch, and they did a environmental DNA sequence. So they would sample different parts of the loch and be able to sequence the DNA to find out what life forms were there. They said, we can't find any evidence of a creature that's remotely related to that in our environmental DNA sequence. So sorry, I don't think plesiosaur idea holds up based on the data we have obtained. He added, quote, so there's no shark DNA in the loch. There's no catfish DNA in the loch. We can't find any evidence of sturgeon either, which are very, very big freshwater fish. But there is a very significant amount of eel DNA. Eels are plentiful in the loch, and with eel DNA found at every single location sampled, there are a lot of them, so maybe they're giant eels. And I thought maybe, I don't know much about how eels mate, and I know they go into freshwater, saltwater, but maybe they're kind of like writhing together at the surface, like two or more eels are like wrapping around themselves at the top of the water. And they're moving in a way that makes it look like the humps and stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, right.
I don't know, but that's interesting information that we have a little more, scientific evidence to go on. So, because I did think it might actually be a sturgeon. That was one of my ideas, was a sturgeon. But without any evidence of the DNA, we kind of have to get away from that.
Even just eels feeding at the surface can be very vigorous and full tilt. So yeah, and I mean, even in this tiny creek beside me, when I was a young fella, there was eels in there that were 5 and 6 feet long. But they're eels that Australian long-finned eels. Oh, actually, they're just called long-finned eels because they're in New Zealand and all over the place down here. And actually, Chewy put a video on his channel about the long-finned eels the other day. They can get very, very old before they decide to go out into the salt water to breed.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of eels are like that. They spend a hell of a long time in fresh water and then head out into the salt water to breed and basically just rely on current to waft the babies back to new locations and whatnot. And they don't always end up back where their parents originate from.
But I thought it was a very interesting article that kind of showed us a little more about the DNA sequencing. I think that's probably the best way to search because you can't really search the water. It's so murky, and the radar stuff that they've done, the fish finder stuff has not come up with anything. And I think, DNA sequencing does tell us a lot about it. I think, Paige was smart. Before I even read the article, she guessed eels, which I think is very cool. And what kind of eel did you want me to get, babe? What was the one you want to tell him?
A fire eel?
Yeah. How much should we pay for a fire eel?
Whatever it takes,
Oh, see, that's what we're gonna go
Like-
to the big fish deal, and I'm gonna be like, she's gonna be like, oh, it's whatever it takes.
Magic
Get
money.
what I want. Magic money. Oh my goodness, man.
Make sure you take
Find
your
a leprechaun with a pot of gold.
just take your pictures of your antique aquarium stuff and let people give it to you on spec because you say, well,
That's
I'm
true.
selling this gear, I'll have all of the cash soon.
That's
Yeah,
true.
right.
That's true. That's the kind of the best of both worlds. Not trudging it along, but still getting to show it. That'll be very good.
I like what
Very
the Zen Ginger said.
Go for it.
Every time a person remembers something, they're actually remembering the last time they remembered it,
Yeah.
the original event, like playing telephone with yourself.
Jeez,
That makes
touche.
sense. Yeah, I think that's true. We remember the last time we remembered the thing.
That is so very, very true. Exactly. The human memory is a fickle device.
Oh my god, mine's the worst.
Looks like Chewy has a long-finned eel video that you were talking about.
Yep. Zen has kindly chucked a link up for it.
Molly take addiction. I'm be broke, man. He's trying to get. There might be some serious PayPal activity. Like ding ding. I better have my phone email being like, listen, you are rich now to buy all these expensive fish. I wish, man. I might gotta just go out and get a fire eel and some puppers. That'll be awesome. We'll see. We'll see.
What do they go for?
You know, I've seen like, smaller fire eels go for like, 30, 40 bucks. Sometimes less depending on what they are, but I wanted to get one that's kind of like at least medium sized, kind of a little chunky first.
Are they slow growers?
I'm not sure. I know they live a decent amount of time, so that usually does mean slow growing.
That's good.
But I really love their faces. They're so cool, little pointy, inquisitive faces.
Yeah.
I just got a new one. That was really cool. Like razors on his back.
He
Very
lives
good.
in the creepy tree.
GRB, I believe we did settle on the giant eel theory, at least in the alien side of things. I mean, I'm open to change my mind when presented with new facts. Is that what you would say, Paige?
What?
You think it's an eel? These
I
Loch
think-
Ness monsters?
It could be anything, Just, I think people do see something and then they just try to think of the closest thing it resembles, and it's a Loch Ness monster. I don't know.
Well, there's always the old floating wood theory, and
Yeah.
people say that there wasn't a couple of eels writhing around the piece of floating wood to give it a little bit more animation and life.
Absolutely.
Nice. I definitely think that's possible, though. Or it was here at one point, maybe.
And Scotty's audio's gone again.
Uh-oh. He kicked the thing in.
Plug out.
He's kicking himself out, literally.
See, this microphone has this little thing, and if I hit one of those buttons by accident, it mutes me.
Right.
So, but yeah, multi-tank addiction. If I would love to get to 1K, I'm not even at 400 yet. That would be great.
Everyone get him to 400 tonight.
Oh my gosh, that would be great. Get some stuff going there. We did get a really nice super chat, or not a super chat, a donation in the Streamlabs chat from the Ginger Graves. Was very nice.
That was
Gave
so
us
nice.
a cool chat. Or
Ginger
gave us
Graves
cool.
is so awesome.
That's
Very
why we can
generous.
afford the fire eel.
But I feel bad. She lost a bunch of fish due to a power outage.
Oh,
and,
yeah, when the
it's,
tornado and stuff was on.
yeah, it's not good. I hate when you lose a bunch of fish and you try so hard. Chevy fish. I have a whole bunch of eels already, actually, in the tank over there, but they're very small right now. But they're in a 75-gallon. They got plenty of room to get bigger. I feed them lots of brine shrimp and bloodworms, and they love it. They're fun.
We have seen them try to look for an opening, though, in the tank, especially the new one you just got.
The new one was investigating his way out. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
So cunning.
But there's almost no way out.
Yeah.
Any eel is a cunning creature for an escape.
Trying to see. Chris, there's always his PayPal. That's true. That's true. Don't push buttons. Oh, this time I'm the one pushing buttons. Oh no.
Don't do it. I know
That's
from
funny.
experience.
Page close the stream. That's true.
During
you
an
need to learn from
interview
Pam. Never
one
push
time-
buttons. Poor Pam demonetized herself.
What?
Yeah, Pam, like a while ago, she demonetized herself. She pushed some buttons she shouldn't have been pushing. That's what she says. I don't know. I feel so bad for her.
Oh. But she fixed it, right?
I don't think she's been able to fix it because you can't get a hold of YouTube. If you're a small channel like us, you're not, and like something goes wrong, they are not going to help you. They as far as what I've heard. I mean, I don't know. You know, I just don't see it happening. So you got to make sure you don't press buttons.
Oh man, I hope she gets it back.
I think they probably do have a tendency to make all of their questions and whatnot attached to buttons a little bit convoluted, so they might not be so straightforward and easy to interpret.
Yeah,
so it's quite easy to understand that, you know, pushing of the wrong button may be easy to do.
Yeah.
Or there was like 47 pages of fine print that she had to read through that she neglected to read all of.
that's funny. You know, Dead Fred bringing up a funny thing. He says, I hope, kind of hope they never find Loch Ness Monster, manual sequence its DNA with jellyfish and start selling glow Nessies in the aquarium trade. You know what's really funny is I almost named this stream New Glow Red Tail Catfish, just as clickbait to make people upset.
Which one of us is the catfish?
Glow red tail catfish, because that would be amazing.
I'd like to say that I'd been catfished before, but I've never fell for it.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Oh man. That is funny. Oh man. So anything else you wanted to go over, Dr. Black or my love? Before we
if you could send someone over to finish editing the rest of my videos from last weekend, that'd be tops.
No problem. Zen Ginger said she'd be right there, and Mr. Zen is going to be helping as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah, don't worry. They said they're already on the way.
To give them the put them on a cloud thing that I can give them access to. Oh, funny you should say that, Fishy Fun 57.
I mean, they might be selling all their belongings and getting a yacht and just sailing to you right now. You can't be sure.
Just to edit 4 videos.
Gonna ruin the surprise.
Oh, no.
Fishy Fun saying about the jellyfish issue in Australia. I don't know exactly what issue you're talking about, but when Sarah and myself went to the Melbourne Aquarium when we were in Melbourne over the weekend, they had a special exhibit, which I'm not sure how long they put their special exhibits up for, but it was all about jellyfish. They had a lab set up for breeding jellyfish, and lots of different jellyfish, Portuguese man-of-wars and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what is your question regarding the jellyfish issue? Because potentially it might tie into why they've got a thing going on in the aquarium at the moment.
Babe, have you seen a Portuguese man-of-war? You know what that is? Paige?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's one of the
You seen
most
those?
dangerous jellyfish.
Yeah, those are
Right?
really, really cool. Yeah, absolutely. They are
Yeah.
really beautiful, though. Like, especially when you see like the light on them and stuff, like during
Yeah.
sunset or
I-
like
I love
sunrise and stuff.
jellyfish.
Oh, they're so cool.
They're so pretty. It's one of my favorite things to look at whenever I go to the Baltimore Aquarium. They have
Oh,
so many
yeah.
cool ones.
And
I believe
seeing
King
them
Queen
in
just
the-
put up a video of that.
Huh?
seeing them in the tanks at the aquarium, and you see all of their tiny little fine filaments that are just spread out everywhere, then you can
It's
really
amazing.
get an appreciation.
Dangerous, like right in front of your face. You know, like that stuff is so crazy. But
Yeah.
Fascinating. They're like
I will
aliens.
definitely. Yeah, I know they are like aliens. I'll definitely send you a message. I would love to try to help grow the channel and appreciate any support that you would want to give. I'd love to be on your channel, man. That'll be an honor.
Very
That's
nice.
true. I think he's right on this. It is a community of organisms. It's not one thing, right? It's
A symbiotic community.
Oh my gosh.
yeah, it's like a bunch of different organs that kind of clump together to work together, right?
That's really cool.
It's weird.
Its own little
that
operation.
That happens every year. Fishy Fun 57. We have stinger season and jellyfish season, and I guess maybe what you've heard is that it's progressively been moving further south as the oceans get a little bit warmer. It used to be, let's say, the top 2/3 of the Queensland coast used to always get jellyfish problems, and in the last couple of years, stinging jellyfish have come down almost as far as the coastline where I live, but about as far south as the Gold Coast, which is about an hour north of me. So yeah, potentially with the warming of the ocean waters, the dangerous jellyfish are travelling further south, which is funny because a lot of people travel to North Queensland for awesome beaches in the summertime, and they can't use the beaches because they're full of dangerous jellyfish.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, your box jellyfish, your Portuguese man of wars, and the kanji as well, which are tiny.
They're
little.
you're not gonna know that's coming, and they're like the worst ones, aren't they? The most painful.
Yeah, very
Oh my
nasty.
gosh.
They are like the size of like your thumbnail or something, and they just will destroy you.
Oh, might need to get Jay's better room up.
Whoa! What new alien abductions are discussing now? Just had a near encounter. What? What's going
Whoa.
on? What happened? What's going on? Where are the aliens? Show yourselves
On screen.
on the screen. Mm.
It is a Chevy brings up an interesting point as well about species disappearing and becoming extinct. But what if the changing nature of our planet is also bringing about the evolution of a new species?
Right.
It has to be. Why
Yeah.
would we think evolution stops just because we're here?
Yeah.
Use chopsticks. You can
I mean,
only
it's our
use chopsticks to get that fly.
It's our history. That's very interesting to think about.
Let's see.
And yeah, pitchy fun. I can only imagine that if the oceans continue to get warmer, then the progression of jellyfish is only going to travel further south if they're looking for the appropriate temperatures for them to function in.
Yeah, I've luckily never been stung by a jellyfish.
Me too.
I've done it once with what I thought were harmless inert jellyfish. There was this time when I swam across one of the local rivers, and it was full of these big blue ones that were about slightly smaller than a dinner plate across the head, and they had these big, maybe 5 or 6 big dangly bits that hang down the bottom. I think they're commonly called blue bottles. And we just basically swam across the river through them, thinking that they were completely harmless. And then by the time we got out of the water, my arms and my legs were just covered with these welts and stinging.
Oh my God.
You didn't even feel it?
Not in the water, only as soon as you got out of the water, then it was like instant
Oh my gosh.
pain, but certainly not the levels of pain that you hear people talking about with the Portuguese man of war and Irukandji and stuff.
Like people writhing in pain for days on end on that stuff.
Yeah.
But have you been stung, Paige?
No, luckily not.
No.
No.
I've only been stung by a bee
jellyfish.
one time. Luckily. That's the only thing that got me.
Is it true, or is it a myth that like urinating on the wound actually helps with the pain?
I don't think that. I think you're supposed to pour vinegar on it or something, right?
Isn't that a thing though? Or am I crazy? Or maybe that was just on Friends.
I was gonna say, I think we all just saw that on an episode of Friends, and then people are starting to pee on their own feet, and I don't think it's a good idea.
I think it used to be considered a thing, and same with the vinegar, because it's something to do with its acidic nature. But the appropriate first aid now is hot water, as hot as you can stand it on jellyfish stings. Nothing vinegary or pissy anymore.
What does that do? What does hot water do? Does it hurt?
I don't know. Yeah, that's what they say. As hot as you can stand it.
I don't like it.
Probably just to stop people pissing on themselves, I guess. Wake up to yourself.
Freshwater jellyfish also sting? I didn't even know there were freshwater jellyfish, really.
I remember going to the beach one year as a kid, and as soon as I got onto the beach, everyone's throwing around what looked like jellyfish. And as I got closer, I realized they were moon jellyfish, and they didn't have the tentacles that sting you. But I was like, wait, how's everyone like throwing these jellyfish around and not getting stung. But that's when I discovered moon jellyfish for the first time. But those are funny. What? Yeah, the beach was covered with them one year.
They're super impressive when you get a bloom of them, and they're just everywhere.
Yeah.
And someone mentioned freshwater jellyfish. I didn't know there was such a thing. I thought
that's what I said.
I thought jellyfish relied on salt water purely.
The buoyancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah, I don't know what a freshwater jellyfish. You're gonna have to find some Dead Fred. You're gonna have to find some evidence of this. Otherwise, it's going on to the list of cryptids for the night.
Until we see evidence, the BS meter will continue to bing.
Ding 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 ding.
Always.
What if it is ever revealed humans are the original species from different solar systems? I don't know. What if? I'd be like, cool. I mean, that's good, man.
Well, I think the only theory on different species coming from solar systems is fungal spores, isn't it? Even though people want to believe that octopus or jellyfish came from somewhere else, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's believable that fungal spores can survive in a vacuum, so they could potentially travel through space. And then the who was it? Hitchens, I think, his theory of the stoned ape.
Yep, I have heard of that.
Monkeys eating psychoactive mushrooms, expanding the brain to create what we are now.
Wow.
I'm very familiar with that. James Banneroom says, I pour vodka on my jellyfish stings.
What a waste of vodka.
Are you sure you're not pouring the vodka in a glass and then next into your mouth?
Drinking the pain away?
Yeah. I think he skipped that stage that the jellyfish was in the glass.
Hello, Teresa Cookie. Welcome to the stream. Oh, we got the great Bob Kaler in there. How do you do?
How are you? Cody's son's backing up freshwater jellyfish theory.
Yeah, there's backup on this theory now.
In lakes as well. That's interesting.
Interesting. Oh, wow. All right. Well, there's evidence.
Oh, wow.
See, I'm willing to change my mind when presented with new facts. How you doing, Bob? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream as well.
Hi, Bob.
I can't post links, but if you search it, you'll find freshwater jellies invading lakes in Wisconsin and somewhere in Canada. Interesting. That's cool. We could all keep some freshwater jellyfish in our tanks. Let's go.
There's an Australian one.
That'd be awesome.
What kind for in Australia?
It's called freshwater jellyfish.
Oh, well, there you go.
Sawerbii, native lake jellyfish.
That's cool. I didn't even know those existed.
It does say living in salt lakes. So that may also support the theory of requiring salt water for buoyancy. Also, that the middle of Australia used to be an inland sea. So potentially, if Cody Son's lakes that he refers to, are they freshwater lakes?
You know what? Every time I hear that something is cool that I want, and then I hear that it's actually brackish or needs salt water, this is me. I'm just like, I lose all energy and excitement, and I'm just upset, and I'm like, God, you know what? Does anyone else feel that way when you're like, this is cool, then you find out that it's brackish, and you're like, I don't want to deal with that, so you just lose all energy in your body? You're just like, that's it. This whole local fish store tour is over. I'm out. I'm out.
I got a massive big bucket of salt that I need to use, and when Sarah and I went down to the river a few weeks ago, there was a few little saltwater fish that I could probably pinch from the ocean for free. That would be the only thing that would tempt me to start up a saltwater tank, is that if I could do it on the super cheap like that.
I know you can get buckets of water right there. That'll be nice.
Either that or just mix my salt. I've got to use my salt sooner or later with my tank water. And pinch a few free fish out of the wild. There's some pretty cool looking stuff in the little rock pools as well.
Nice.
GRB says Brisbane River is full of jellyfish, maybe only up to a freshwater mark.
Yeah, Brisbane River's saltwater right into the city and even past the city a little bit. It's still salty, brackish past the city.
Sengender says nope. She started a brackish tank, and then Deadfred is with me on the energy drain. He's just like, I said the same thing about mud skippers. I was like, ah.
Do the mud
It's like,
skippers
come
require brackish?
Yes, that's why we're all upset. That's why me and Fred are upset, babe.
That's
Me
why
and Fred
Fred said.
are not happy. Teresa Cookie, jellyfish. I can't say that. All right, quick, Paige. You have 3 seconds to say that name. Ready? Go. Three,
Wait.
2, 1.
Cras de Custa.
It's the one I just said minutes ago.
Was that terrible? You're rushing me.
I was putting you on the spot for fun.
Yeah, you do that a lot.
Kraspedekuska.
Was that? No. Was I far off? Cras de Custa, baby.
Oh, you're the best.
No, you are.
Oh man. Blackie, what are the challenges of fish keeping in Australia? Hold down the fort for a moment. I'll be right back.
Expense. Electricity is very expensive down here, so we try and do everything we can to keep costs down. Also, isolation. A lot of places in Australia are isolated from, capital cities and whatnot. So any rural fish stores and what have you factor in transport costs. So the further you are away from a capital city, you're generally paying a lot more money for your fish food and fish, basically because they have to travel so far to get to the rural areas. Good night, Chris. Thanks for hanging out.
Good night.
And availability, I suppose, is another big one that I can put at the top of the list, because Australia has incredibly harsh quarantine and import restrictions. So there's a lot of stuff that, like, say, in America, for example, you see in every single fish store you go to, but down here they just don't exist because they're not allowed to come into the country. And there's a hell of a lot of fish like that. Yes, Chevy, solar panels are wisely advised down here. In fact, our government does a rebate system for installing solar panels on your house. So most people get solar panels, especially if they're building new houses, but lots of old houses as well have installed solar panels, and tie their solar systems into the power grid, so that when you're generating solar electricity, if you're not using all of the electricity you generate, they feed it back into the grid and you get rebates on your power bills. In saying that, though,
That's good.
electricity is so bloody expensive, it barely ever makes a difference.
How long have you lived in Australia?
45 years.
Yeah.
I was born here.
Oh, nice. You like living there? I guess so. You haven't left.
Yeah, I've only been overseas once, and that was over 20 years ago.
Back.
Where did you go?
I went to Fiji.
Classified.
Fiji?
Fiji.
Ah.
I did 2 weeks in Fiji, and I did one of those weeks in a fancy resort and the other week in a village with the locals doing local village kind of stuff.
Well, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it was a really good way to get both sides of the country, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Dead Fred,
world.
I did see that. I did see that somewhere, that in Maryland, if you catch a snakehead, you are required to kill it on the spot, I believe, and you do get a reward for turning in dead ones. I believe that used to be a thing. I'm not sure if they still do it or not, but true. Also, but yeah. So you're bringing us to Fiji? That's so
They
nice
hang
of
with the
you.
villagers.
God, these PayPal donations must be really big tonight. I'm going to Fiji, getting eels and all sorts of puffers and parrotfish and stingrays.
We've got, speaking of Dead Fred's comment, we've got a fairly massive list of fish here in Australia that if you catch them out of the waterways, you've got to kill them on the spot. And some of them, not only kill them, but you're supposed to bury them as well.
Wow. And have a funeral
Jeez.
and everything.
Well, maybe.
We
I
are
think-
here today.
I think it's more to the point that if they might have fertilized eggs on board or something like that. So if you chuck them back in the water dead, there's a potential that eggs might get out and more fish might hatch. So, burying is a thing. I've never actually looked into that. I just know that there's at least 2 or 3 species that they say you must kill them and bury them.
Wow.
Australia and New Zealand share the same issues within the fish keeping hobby, but Australia have the ability to keep tropical shrimp, whereas New Zealand I cannot. Jeez. Yeah, no shrimp in New Zealand. That's crazy. Those dangerous, invasive cherry shrimp. They are terrifying. You can see on the news right now, but what are we gonna do with all these cherry shrimp?
Well, apparently you can't have any shrimp in Western Australia. I mean, they're over there, but it's illegal to buy or sell them.
Jeez.
Wow.
But there was so much in Australia that was put there that was not native, and then they try to put other things on top of it to take care of that thing,
Yeah.
and then they put something on top of that to take care of that, and then it was all messed up, as far as what I know. I could be wrong, but
They've certainly tried it with a few things.
it's funny. One person was telling us to get what's in the picture behind Paige, to get a Nautilus.
Those
'Cause
things
I didn't even know that was even a thing you could keep in tanks, but
That'd be
probably
so
has to be
cool.
a fairly large tank.
and someone was saying something about pressurized tanks, and I was like, I think that's a cryptozoology thing too. Pressurized tanks. I don't know. At least not for the at-home hobbyist.
Maybe, I know there's certain Nautilus that are definitely deep water species, but I think there's some that operate at a reasonable altitude or depth, I should say.
And they live for 20 years or something or more. But that would be so cool, so alien.
Yeah.
But I know
that'd
if I
be
get
awesome.
saltwater, I'm gonna have to get this lovely lady some seahorses.
At least 2.
Oh man. Crazy stuff. I hit and run in front of my home just now. Jeez.
Really?
Yikes.
They're probably watching the stream as they drive.
Oh, jeez. I would feel really bad if someone got an accident during our stream trying to watch our stream.
Of course, that'd be awful.
And they were randomly just in front of Big J's house and he doesn't know who they are.
Small
Okay.
world.
I was just
Very
going to say that.
absolutely.
It's a small world.
Yep.
It is a small, Chevy fish not also need open water for traveling. Well, that's why Chevy Fish is gonna donate a massive fish tank for the Alien World Aquatics channel for at least a whole bunch of Nautilus.
And a wave-making machine to make them feel at home in the ocean.
Yeah,
Ooh.
absolutely. Let's see, what else is going on? I hear the pleco invasion in Florida and Georgia is getting out of hand. Yeah, that does. Some of the video I've seen of the pleco invasion in Florida is absolutely ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
It's just nothing but plecos in the bottom of the water, and nothing else can live there pretty much because they eat everything else out.
When they've been trying to blame that on the fish keeping hobby for years, but weren't they actually originally released in Florida by the government to try and control algae in the waterways and stuff?
That was a bad idea.
I'm not sure if that's 100% true, but that's one of those things that I've just heard along the way.
That's not fair. Wait, do you have a Nautilus or are you just putting a video up? That's a big difference there, Chewy. Big J's mind is like all blown right now. He's like, how could they just hit the car and just drive away?
Well, didn't he say he got out and ran off?
Wait, really?
I think so.
They hit a parked car and they got out of their car and ran off? Really?
Like out of their car?
I bet
I'm
it's the
confused.
same dude that parachuted into the backyard of Dr. Black. It's the same dude.
I
He
can
just
only-
travels differently than the rest of us.
I can only imagine that it's not really their car.
That's probably
right?
true.
They
Yeah, it
done
could be a
stole
stolen car, just gone. Oh my god. Wish I had a massive tank for myself. Well, let's get this going. It's Bob streaming and driving. I hope not. Jeez.
Be safe.
Oh
I can't talk though.
man. I know. You better not be texting in the streams when you're driving. I'll get you. Oh man.
It has to be done.
I do not have that kind of money to own a Nautilus Alien World Aquatics. Yeah, I guess
How
that's.
much do they go for, I wonder? Are they
I don't
super
know.
expensive?
I mean, I think they're hard to get, and I think one of the things we found out when we were doing a little research on them is that they have to be about 15 years old to be mature enough to breed, and they only have like a small amount of babies, so it's hard to get your hands on them, I guess. That's why they're supply and demand.
Yeah.
Expensive. Yes, they left their car totaled in the middle of the road. Maybe they were injured and they went for help. Or maybe they had some classified
something in their blood.
things in the car that they did not want to be associated with that were probably in some white powder form in my detective mind. But that's just my guess. It's the morning for the
Play
Sharpie
everyone
model
with
and
me,
aquatics. Good morning, sir.
G'day, Sharpie.
Don't be doing that, Jay's Beta Room. You stop it right now. Yeah, I did look that up, Chewy. I did look that up. Drunk. Yeah, that happens. Drunk. And then
Me?
just get out of
Oh,
the
yeah.
car. Indeed. Well,
Rough night.
12-pound clown knives in Florida. People sport fishing, tropical fish in Florida. 12-pound clown knife. That's a big clown knife.
Are they edible? What are they called?
Hey Jay, I seen them and everything. He's like,
him.
how could you do that? I know what you did.
I've seen him.
That would have been a really good video for YouTube there, Big J. If you could put that on the notification, please. If you could put that up on the notification of your video of them do that. Nice tie-in, fishy fun. Bigfoot was driving. Good tie-in for the streams.
Oh, that was good.
Very
That was-
nice to tie everything in there. Very nice. Good job.
That's why they call you fun.
Mm-hmm.
Did you
Very
see
nice.
the above comment by Big J? The cops were called and everything, and the car is still sitting in the middle of the road. No cops ever showed up. they're probably behind somebody for barely running a red light or something.
Oh boy, that is funny. Oh, that's something entertaining. Tennessee law allows it. Jeez. Texting and driving. Get in trouble here. When some of the saltwater aquariums like Dr. Carson breed things, it is well documented in public knowledge due to the WAZA. The WAZA, I don't even know what that is. The
It's a rapper.
WAZA? That's a rapper. That is funny. For the average nautilus, less than 6 inches, the aquarium should be at least 3 feet long, 8 inches wide, and 2 feet deep to allow the animal to move around freely. GRB, if you don't mind making me an aquarium 5 times the dimensions of that and installing it into my house, that would be fantastic. And we'll get some nautilus. Big J, that was my female friend. Jeez.
Oh no.
Look on the internet for pictures of 12-pound clown knives. Is it a full moon? Let's look. 12-pound clown knife. Holy crap. Oh, jeez. Those are huge. Those are absolutely huge.
Can you show that, hun?
Yeah, let me bring that up. Some of these.
Whoa,
That's a big knife fish.
jeez. Massive baby.
Actually, a forced perspective photo though. Although, yeah, something that big, you'd have to hold it fairly close.
It's pretty
Wow.
crazy.
Jeez.
Those are huge.
But I don't know if anyone answered my question whether they're good eating or not.
Good eating. Interesting.
It's a, I mean, that's a fish with a fairly decent sized fillet on it.
Mm-hmm.
Going to post a couple links about freshwater jellies in a couple areas here in Tennessee. Cool.
Thank you, Bob.
Take certain regulations to be a member. Interesting. Dead Fred says, looks like it won't be keeping clown knives. I guess so. Yeah, they get kind of big.
Sorry.
Oh, Chewy says, yes, they are good eating.
Good to know.
Do you think they're funny? Maybe? It's a page joke.
You're funny.
That's you know, whoever said Dead Fred, at least you've got an out if it gets too big in your tank.
I guess that's true. Dinner time.
Just don't use any chemicals in your tank for its lifetime.
Big J is just looking out the window at these totaled cars with no cops showing up and no one's taking care of the situation. Everyone just goes to sleep.
It's dark outside.
Do you own like a balaclava or a ski mask or something, Big J? Because, you know, if they're both there and the doors have been busted open, you might as well like go through the glove boxes and stuff.
Find some goodies.
Maybe
Oh,
they have
boy.
fish supplies or something.
Or large wads of cash.
Right? Even better.
Small bills. Untraceable. That is funny. Very good. Alrighty, well, I think we are going to cut it out. I've kept this lovely lady up pretty late, too.
No, it's okay.
We've been going for almost 2 hours. It's pretty fun, though. Thank you for coming on,
Yeah.
Dr. Black. It's always good to have you. An impromptu stream. We had to change it up because I can't do tomorrow like I normally do at 4 p.m. Eastern, so we wanted to try to change it up, and I was like, maybe I'll just do it now because that's the only time I could get it done. Yeah, because why not? So hopefully everyone had fun, and we got a couple of ideas for our big fish deal stuff. And anything else you got going on, Dr. Black, you want to promote, put out there? Any links need up there for my moderators?
No, not that I'm aware of at the moment. I've been doing nothing new. I'm just trying to get through this massive pile of editing and fish tank jobs that I've been procrastinating for the last week.
Very good.
But yeah, I do need to try and rush down to the supermarket before they shut. So, you know, if anyone could put a link up for the Dr. Black needs to get to the supermarket trip, that'd be great.
Got the Lucky Seahorse channel, got the Dr. Black channel. Absolutely very, very good. Thank you guys very much. And don't forget that Dr. Black is streaming 10 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Wait, Tuesday? Not tomorrow. Tuesday?
Yes. As long as nothing gets in the way again like it did last week, I should be back on track. All systems normal.
Indeed. And we will be going right after you as always. Any auctions coming up for you and Miss Sarah?
None planned at the moment. We had a meeting a couple of days ago with a lady who owns a games shop, really cool game shop. I might have to do a video on that game shop. There's just, I never knew so many board games existed. But she's got an exhibition space in the back of her shop. So I think starting either weekend coming up, not this one that we're in now, but next weekend or Monday or Tuesday following that weekend, Sarah's going to have an exhibition. Part of me going. So potentially, I mean, she's doing a fairly themed exhibition this time around, where a lot of the recent artwork and stuff that follows a certain theme will be being exhibited. So potentially not too long after that exhibition's over, we might do an auction of some of the older stuff and any new stuff that doesn't necessarily sell at the exhibition. So that'd be good.
That's pretty cool. Very good. Tell her congratulations. Things seem to be moving pretty quick for her artwork stuff right now, and I think she deserves it.
Well, that was kind of just a lucky one. The lady who owns the shop came up to us when we were doing our last markets, and she just said that she's got an exhibition space. Let me know if you're interested. And yeah, it's kind of magic the way that kind of stuff happens.
Sometimes that's the way you can't force it. It just happens.
Yeah,
by knowing somebody talking and stuff. Jay's Beta Room, if you actually have something you wanted to share with us, paranormal style, please email me at alienworldaquatics@gmail.com, and we can maybe get a time for you to come up for an episode of Interview with the Alien sometime. So let me know there. Thank you guys all for being here.
And I just before you go any further, Bob Kaler, if you've got interesting links on the freshwater jellyfish, if you could message them to me, that's definitely something I'd like to have a read of, please.
Yeah, I think I would like that too. That'd be really cool if we can get some information on that. I didn't even know they'd existed until this stream, so we learned something new, Very, very cool.
That would be cool.
I think that's pretty much it for the chat and everything, unless it's just going slow for me. But I think that's it for me and woo and the doctor. It didn't sound like
the way that sounded.
Anything else you wanted to add in, my love? Thank you so much for being here late tonight.
That was my pleasure. It's really fun to be on with you guys. And Dr. Black, you're always a hit. A riot. Thank you. But yeah, and thanks everyone in the chat for being here. And next time.
Next time, indeed. Tuesday with Dr. Black, and we'll be right after him. Thanks everyone for coming and for always being part of the, not just like watching the stream, but being active in there and giving us information. We can always learn something. That's fun. I like that. So have a great night, guys. And that's going before that. Bob Kaler still needs his watch hours. Get his watch hours up, guys. If you can, check out his channel. He definitely deserves to get that monetization as well. And I will hit up Multi-Tank Addiction in a little bit on the Facebooks.
Good, absolutely. Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Paige, and thanks all you guys out there in Chatland.
Yeah,
We'll see
all
you.
right. Thank you, sir. Have a great night, guys. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
See ya.